Imagine yourself walking on a trail in the middle of a forest. Your legs are tired and your feet are sore. You wonder to yourself, how long have I been walking? And then you try to think back to when you started, so long ago that you go back to some of your earliest memories. You remember being so little, yet having dreams so big. How innocent and how confident you were. You always thought that you were going to rise to the top of the world and nothing could stop you. You chuckle at the memories, because since then you've grown so much. You've had your dreams change maybe 1,000 times, and they still change every now and then. You turn around and look back at the trail, finding comfort in the thought of your past, because back then you were blissfully ignorant. Back then you saw only the path. Back then you paid no mind to the woods around you. The forest is dark and frightening. It seems as though almost every day you've passed some sort of obstacle. Distractions, responsibilities, commitments, emotions, cares, temptations, and burdens of all kinds. You look away from the darkness and keep walking. Your legs are tired, and your feet are sore. But you keep on walking on a path made by you. You've built this trail with your own hands in countless days of labor, and you've thought long and hard about where it's going. You've told yourself, whatever you do, do not leave this road. For a while now, this has been the most important thing, and the focus of every little move you make on your journey. But you've had so many doubts. What if I don't make it? What if there was something wrong with my design? What if I change my mind? What if the others are right when they say I can't get there? What if I don't have strength for the journey? What if this really isn't where I want to go? No, of course it's where I want to go. After all, I'm the one who came up with this destination. I made these plans based on what I want. So I have to be right. Right? As you continue walking, you notice something strange up ahead. There is a man at the side of the trail looking at something in the forest. You think to yourself, wait a second, this wasn't supposed to be on my path. Getting closer, you slowly start to recognize this man. His face becomes clear, and you immediately know who it is. Happy to see him, you approach your good friend, Jesus. You greet him. Jesus, it's nice to see you, but what are you doing here? He turns to you and says, you're going the wrong way. Shocked, you take a step back. How can I be going the wrong way? You ask him angrily. Jesus steps to the side and reveals another trail, branching off from yours. You say, but Jesus, that path is just as dark and forested as this one, and nobody knows where it leads. Except for me, he answers. This is where I want you to go. You reply to him, well, it's not where I'm going. Then you continue on your way, thinking to yourself, why would he do that? You keep walking and walking, now even more determined to never leave this trail. You slowly start to feel something different about the path. It has become a little steeper. But that's not a big deal. It's only a tiny bit higher. You keep on walking. Later, after several hours of making your way, you feel something strange again. Very curious, you increased your speed and turned a corner, and there he is again. Staring at the same path he showed you earlier, Jesus was standing there. You become angry. You think to yourself, what is he doing? Doesn't he know where I'm trying to go? As you pass him by, you indignantly tell him, you're crazy, Jesus. I'm never going down your path. Then a short distance after you pass him, you trip over a stone on the trail. You quickly get up, embarrassed not only because of the fall, but because of the fact that there was a fault in your own path. You look back to see if he had seen it, but he had disappeared. Then you turn the other way and look down the trail. You are shocked to see a road filled with cracks and covered in rocks, and now it's an uphill climb. You're very surprised to see this. This wasn't in your plan at all. You continue walking, now being extra careful with each step. Despite the extra caution, you trip and fall again and again. After what seems like the millionth fall, you look up from the ground and see feet, pierced feet. Then you try to get back up, but you stumble. But there, ready to catch you, were pierced hands. After getting back on your feet and brushing yourself off, you look at Jesus' face and see the other trail behind him. He then looks you in the eye and whispers your name. You know what he's going to say. All of a sudden, you push him to the side and start running up the hill of your own path. As soon as Jesus is out of sight, the growth in the woods starts to get thicker, and the trees block out the sunlight from above. You can't see anything but a few feet of the road in front of you, and you're still falling. Every few seconds you stumble and collapse over a rock or a crack in the ground. Sooner than later your legs give out and you have nothing left to do but crawl. Every move you make is painful because you're covered in scrapes and bruises. Inch by inch you're moving closer to nowhere. Then you look up to see if there's any sign of hope for you. And then, through the blood, sweat, and tears, you see the same pierced feet, standing only a few inches from your face. And you fall to the ground and surrender. Then Jesus whispers your name again and says ever so softly, "Why do you run from me?" Laying before him, you answer, "Jesus, I'm afraid. My whole life I've dreamt of following my own path and doing what I want. And when I'm finally doing that, you come along and tell me to abandon what I'm doing and take your path. Lord, I'm afraid of losing myself and my desires." Jesus gives a gentle smile. He reaches down to you, takes your hands, and lifts you up from the ground. He wipes your tears, then looks into your eyes and says, "My precious child, when I look into your heart, I see a masterpiece. I see in you the most beautiful thing on this wondrous earth. I see all of you, and I know all of you because I created you. I see your faults, and I look past them. I see your merits, and I treasure them. I see your heart's deepest desires, and I understand them. For long before you were even conceived, I placed those desires in your heart. Long before your life, I spent over 1,000 years personally designing you. I carefully picked out each attribute and devised every detail of your lifetime. I know the plans I have for you. They are plans to prosper you, never to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. My plan is perfect. And it starts with you giving me your heart, your desires, and your life. For when you let go of yourself and make your own mine, you will truly be fulfilled. In my love there is no greater joy. You will neither need nor desire anything more than my love. Put me first in your heart, and I will take care of the rest of your life, and you will need to worry no more. I will guide you each step of the way. I go before you always and everywhere. I lead you today, tomorrow, now, until the end of time." Then Jesus turns toward his trail. He smiles again and beckons you to follow. As you start down the road with him, he takes your hand, telling you that you can always trust him, and he will always be at your side.